Hi guys, this is Christine Bertram coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And that was Tyler, he just called. So I don't know if you could hear me talking to him in the background, but I was like whispering to him. And that's how that goes because he literally called right as I hit the go live button. I'm glad I answered it. It was an electrician call or phone call and plastering drywall questions. So take a deep breath. Here we are, gathered together to do some stamping. It is the Share a Recipe, Create a Card, and Inspire Others card class. You might see some rambunctious kittens in the background. They are worked up a lot. They've been in the middle of a remodel now project since July 8th, I guess you could say. They were pretty good with a lot that the builder Mark was doing. But now our drywaller is here and they aren't loving the grinding of drills into hanging up drywall everywhere. And so they are a little worked up. So at least they're not hiding under the bed. Hunky was hiding under the bed a bunch this past week and he's gotten a little skinnier, and I think it's because he's a little bit anxious about what's going on. So that is how that goes. Remodeling is not always easy on our loved pets. So I'm going to look for this video. You guys, I haven't been live in a little while either. So this is a little bit back into the hot seat. You guys, we had Gina live this morning. She did her morning, I think it was her technique class featuring changing leaves. So if you're looking for some ideas on that specific bundle or that set, definitely watch that one. I did just check this morning that changing leaves is still out of stock. It was slated to come back in sometime this week, and so we are just looking for it, and hopefully it comes back in here in the next day or two. But as soon as it's available, I know there are a few of you that are looking for it, so yay. All right, I am going to pull up our video. So I was a little bit tardy in sending the email out for this class, but it's in your inbox. I sent it out around noon or 11:15 this morning. And I'm going to try to pull it up as well. And then I can get your comments so you guys can tell me what's going on. Oh, yeah. Let's go to my default browser and open it there. Okay, so let's see if I can get in here. Oh, it's been a whirlwind. Some of you are still waiting for some emails from me. I have a period, I believe, from August 23rd, 4th, 5th-ish through September 4th. That's about a solid week, maybe 10 days, where I'm still picking at some of those. If you guys have an email that you operate, the top first email comes in, and then you see more. And I have this tendency of working backwards, and I still continue, I'm working backwards. And what happens when I set it to go to the 23rd or 24th, and I respond to the email, it takes me back up to the top of my inbox. And then I gotta scroll down, and then I scroll past all these emails, and it's like, so I just keep trying to pick at it backwards. It's what's happening to me. And it's a little bit crazy fun, guys. I can't deny that. It's a little bit of craziness going on right now. And we're just going to see if I can get logged in here. Of course, it wants my password. Let's see if I can remember what this password is. Let's see if that's it. Can you guys hear Bigger Tigger? He's chirping in the background. Let's see if I can get here another way. So I want to see your comments, and sometimes the video would pop up really quick for me, and sometimes it just hangs out. I should have done this before I hit live, but Tyler called me and I got so distracted. So that happens. All right, let's see here. Let me just see if I can close it out and come back. All right, we are going to be doing Share a Recipe, Create a Card, Inspire Others here momentarily. We'll get started on that. But you guys, I want to share with you where we're at with the project, give you a little update, and see once if we can't get it that way. Okay, hang on. Let's see if I've got it. Nope, I don't have it there either. Oh, I'm in 2023. Okay, you guys, bear with me for just a moment. I know I'm live, and this is probably like one of the annoying things that when you watch somebody that they don't have their stuff together, and I try not to be that person, but I'm being that person right now. Okay, I try not to be that person. All right, so I found us. I'm live. I can rock and roll now. So there's Barbara Rudolph. Yay! Hi, Gwen Simmons. There's Debbie Gast. Woo! You didn't see the recipe card because I will tell you, this is the recipe card. Oh man, it's not on a recipe card. And so I didn't take a picture of it yet. You did not miss it, but we'll get it here. I'll photograph it soon. So Annette Rollin is our guest recipe giver. And she was worried about fitting it all on the card. And so what I might have to do is just cut this and paste it, and I'll tape it onto my recipe card, and that's what I'm going to take a picture of. So we'll get there. Hi, Amy Langlois. Hi, Rosie Prouty. There's Jan and Doris. Hi, Randy and Carmen. There's Jeannie Gertis. Hi, Nancy and Sherry. Hi, Mary. There's Connie Moore. I'm so happy that you could take a moment and breathe and watch. Hopefully you enjoy today's class. There's Karen. All right. Hi, Jeannie Parker. Hi, Barbara Gobby. Barbara Gobby has had a whirlwind too these past couple weeks. So both Connie and Barbara, my thoughts are with you guys, going through what you guys are going through. There's Sarah and there's Nedra. Okay, so yay, we've got a bunch of people watching. I appreciate you guys and your patience. Always, your patience with me is amazing. I try to make everything happen, and I'm only human. I have to realize that. So it's been a lot of late nights and early mornings. Not early mornings. We were more late trying to get things done. But I would have to say last week, Tuesday night, when Monday night, it was Tuesday night going into Wednesday, we worked on the project until 3 a.m. trying to get stuff buttoned up, and then the catalog launched, and then I was up till 6:30 putting in orders, and then the electrician showed up at 6:30, and then I went to bed at 6:45 a.m. and got up at 9. So that rolled into Wednesday. Actually, it rolled into Thursday, as tired can be. And then Thursday night, Tyler and I were both up till 4 a.m. basically getting stuff ready for the drywallers. And then come Friday, well, actually, we were getting ready for the insulators. We had spray foam put up there, and so the insulators came on Thursday morning, and so we were ready for the insulators, but we had still a laundry list of things to do before the drywallers came on Saturday. And so we thought we were going to be able to get into the room on Thursday night to do the rest of the framing. We needed to change a vent from being in the room to being out of the room, and then we needed to put ductwork in, and Tyler is like the man that's doing all this. And I'm helping him as best I can. And so then the insulators came. So great, we were there. But the insulators kind of did us dirty. Good and bad at the same time. We were supposed to get so much spray foam, right? 2.5 inches and a 6-inch stud wall. And in a lot of cases, the cavity was over 6 inches filled. So it was popping out past the beam, and you can't put drywall up to it. So Friday night, we thought we were going to go in and maybe spend 6 hours and have it all buttoned up. Well, instead, between Tyler and I, we spent 8 hours taking an oscillating tool and shaving off insulation everywhere. Like basically almost every cavity in both rooms had to have stuff done, and then scraping the beams to get the spray foam off. And so in a way that created 8 hours of work for us, but it also gave us extra insulation because now we have an R value of up the wazoo versus a little, like what the minimum required is for code. So needless to say, we pulled an all-nighter on Friday night. We did not go to bed. At 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, we were still putting batten insulation in the ceiling of the stout room, and the drywallers showed up at 9:15, and we had not gone to bed, and worked with them for a little bit, and Tyler had to go run some errands and take a log splitter back, and long story short, I got to take a 2-hour nap at 11:30 that day, and Tyler got to take a 2-hour nap at 3 to 5 p.m. on Saturday, you guys. And then we had to be out at my parents' for a rescheduled fireworks show that Tyler was in charge of on Saturday night. My parents had you guys might remember the weekend in June when they had their anniversary celebration. We usually do fireworks, and it was too windy. It was way too windy that day, so we made the executive decision to hold off, and they were the Saturday night, and they were a blur is what they were for us, but we got that done. And then we're also pouring a concrete pad in the front here. So outside that bay window, it has been dirt covered in plastic for the last 4 years, and we never knew what to do with it. Well, finally, when Stampin' Up! Is going to be coming to your house in like less than a month, you start finishing projects that need to get done. And and so on Sunday, then my dad was here at 10:30, and and Tyler and I worked in the dirt all day, prepping, staging for a concrete pad to get poured, which is what we've always wanted to do. And we just never had the drive, I guess, because doing this entire 1,700 square feet add-on burned us out 4 years ago. And now I know why it burned us out, because I'm almost like, we're on that like cusp of that burnout period, you guys. So if you guys think you you have a lot going on, oh, welcome to my world. Hopefully it makes you feel a little bit better that maybe you don't have quite as much, and it's all good. It's all relative, right? So on Sunday then, from basically 10:30 until 9:30 that night, we worked outside in the dark, kind of. We got that. I'll show you guys pictures here too, but I'm telling you the story real quick. So we worked out there. So needless to say, all this time you think that I could be responding to emails, what I normally would be doing. I can't, because Tyler is of the mindset, and I agree, I get it. I should be part of the work and the project and not on my phone. And I don't want to upset him, right? That's always the goal, not to upset, your boyfriend or your husband or your significant other, and work on other things when he's working on things to help you. So yeah, so then we get in on Sunday night, and then we continue to work on stuff in the house for prepping. And then Monday night, we were out there working on stuff. Last night, we were putting the forms up. And tomorrow we got to put rebar in. And then the concrete is getting poured at 1 o'clock. And it'll be all set for the Wounded Warrior card benefit, which is on October 5th. And so yes, you guys are exhausted just hearing me talk about it. So, you guys, I know. So now you know why I appreciate your patience so much. I try not to be this overwhelmed. I'm not like totally overwhelmed, but there's a lot. There's a lot of moving pieces, thank goodness. And I'm blessed to have all the helpers and the amazing people in my life that are helping me keep everything going. Fortunately, for the last week, since last week Monday, we've been kitting. We kitted up 3,012 cards since last week. I didn't help a lot of that. Like, that was my gals here while I was working on other things, trying to answer emails or trying to work on other things. But we kitted up 3,000 cards. All of September, all of the Autumn Creative Escape, everything is kitted at the moment. I will have to say I'm very happy to hear that. The only thing, and I meant that I emailed all my September monthly class attendees, everything is ready except for I don't have all of the ink, paper, scissors, gems, ribbons, and embellishments to finish off everybody's goodie bags. And a lot, like I would have to say 80% of people on my customer base, they get multiple classes and they want to wait and ship at once. And so I had originally thought we were going to ship today. That didn't happen. And my orders are set to arrive between tomorrow and Friday. So my mom and I and we were talking yesterday, we just made the decision, we're going to wait and do a big shipping day on Monday. And I'm going to move the Let's Just Stamp class, I think, to the evening, because I don't have an evening class Monday night. So I'm going to move Let's Just Stamp to 6, and then we're going to ship all day. And I thought in my head, well, why don't you just wait and ship after the event? Because you could ship it all together. And I'll tell you, we did that in January, and it was very overwhelming. And things get haywire. And all of the stuff sitting here and having to move it and bring it back, it's like, let's just ship it and then get it out. And then we're going to ship the Autumn Creative Escape product shares and DSP samplers then after the event is done. And so that's kind of like what's on the plan. So anybody who's getting classes from me, just know that that's on our radar, is big shipping day on Monday. And yeah, so we're just going to still do the online classes. So unfortunately, some of you guys will get your kits maybe a day or two or up to a week after that I have the class. But I know you guys all understand why and are all okay with it. So it's all good. Oh, you really need to make time to take care of yourself. Please, I know, Jan, sleep is what I do right now to take care of myself, making sure. So last night, I had thought to myself, stay up and get emails done. And I said, when it got to be 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, no, we worked on putting some last minute insulation in a wall in the interior, and we finished it around 12:30 last night. And we were in bed. It was about 1:30, I think, before we were in bed, and I slept till 8. So I got my about 8 hours of sleep, which is great. The last few nights, it's been 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, and because I'm trying to catch up. So in case you're still waiting for an email, I'm picking away at them little by little. Just know I don't have any problems with any classes in September. Nothing is nearing capacity. So if you've signed up for something, you'll get it. And just know that you haven't missed shipping. Stuff is shipping by Monday. So my ultimate goal is to get caught up on anything and everything with email related going into next week, so that when we ship on Monday, everything's good. So just know that that you don't have to worry, right? Just keep being patient. I appreciate that. So, and we're going to do something on Sunday. We're going to the local city has a steam engine show on Sunday. So we are going to leave the house and not work on any projects from like 11 o'clock until 3 o'clock on Sunday. We're going to go and enjoy that. And so you guys know Gina's daughter is Bella, if you guys watch Gina. And Bella is going to be singing the national anthem at the event on Sunday. So we want to go and watch and support her. So yeah, so we got a little fun for Sunday. And my friend Soledad, her daughter, is having a quinceanera party on Saturday night. And so we'll be going to get dressed up and get out of the grubby work clothes, and we're going to be going to quinceanera on Saturday night. So we've got a couple things planned for us to do. So a lot of things going on. I'm going to share some pictures, though. Guys, entertain me for just a moment. I'll share with you what we've got going on. So I have, let's see. You guys didn't really get to, so the last time I showed you pictures was the inside of this. This is where we were at. This is the new craft room upstairs. It's so it used to end right where that wood floor is, right? So I had a 10 by 12 room. And basically what's happened is we've expanded it out 10 feet that way, and it's about 10 feet or 12 feet that way. So we added on 100 square feet. So I basically doubled my craft room, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it looks really big. And so so this little attic spot here, we found that when we opened up the wall, and it's like where the attic comes down at a slant. This is where I'm going to store all my cardstock. We go through a lot of cardstock, and right now it's all laid out in boxes on the floor in my guest bedroom. And so we're going to build 9 drawers that are heavy duty drawers to hold all the cardstock. So that's pretty cool. And I took some pictures here of where we put framing, because we're going to put countertops around. And so, yeah, so this is, you guys, what it looks like in the inside before we had spray foam inslope. That's not what I wanted to do. Before spray foam. So we got inside. Okay, I'm not sure who you are, but we're just going to do that. Sorry. Let's see here. What else? Oh, in the interim, too, last week, you guys, we got all the raffle baskets put together. Oh, here's my insulator guy. He was backed up with his hose. And so raffle baskets got put together, you guys, last Friday. Bonnie and I did a 51-minute long video showcasing all of the different baskets that we have set up. Plus, after this video, we had a couple people reach out to us that say they want to do baskets yet. And so pay attention to that. We're going to be sending an email with all of them. And then this is what I meant by like cleaning up, you guys. This kind of stuff was on the front face of boards that all needs to get scraped off. Otherwise, and a lot of this stuff was past the beam here. And so if that's a blurry picture, but you can kind of see it bubbled out and the rafters here. And so I had to take an oscillating tool, and we just, like, Tyler and I both scraped a lot of that. So like that kind of stuff. So that's what we had going on. Like, it was popped out past, and like right there, we had to take a tool and we put it. So I got to send pictures to this guy, the sales guy, so he can see like that kind of stuff right there. It was all over the place, just all over, and just created a lot of work for us. And when it was all said and done, this is kind of like, I've got piles. So we had to take this 2x4 here and run this up each cavity in that room and the downstairs room. And in the end, like, this is Tyler scraping away. So like, that's a pile of all the stuff that we had to scrape off. Like, that is like, that's a lot. So, all right. So every one of these cavities, we had to go, like you can see here, we had to shave. It was a lot of work. So you guys were all probably off sleep. Look at that mess. That's me from up on top of the ladder. That's all the stuff that we had to scrape off. So my Tyler wanted to tell you guys that if you ever do spray foam insulation, this all needed to be scraped off. He said, make sure you guys know that your insulator cleans up after himself really well. Like, look at that mess there that we had to go and clean. So, yep, there's Tyler taking a picture. So, yep, I did wear a mask, you guys, because this was nasty stuff. I had my glasses on, and I still managed to get lots of crap in my eyes, piles and piles like that. So, okay, so there's my message to you guys. Spray foam insulation is great as long as it doesn't take up where the beams need to go. So there you can see the whole entire room. They spray foamed it, and that's what the other side, it looks like cotton candy is what it looked like, you guys. So there it is, all spray foamed. And then the drywallers showed, they were there at 9:15 on Saturday morning to start to put up drywall. So here you can see they put They have the ceiling started up there. They got the sheets hung up. They got the bottom starting to get hung up there. All right, moving a mile a minute here. There, they had to back up to bring more in. That's where I was talking about that morning. We were putting batten up in the ceiling here for a sound barrier. They boxed that in for the furnace or the fireplace. And these two yahoos, look at these guys you got. Oh my goodness. They're sitting there sleeping through this. So we kept them up on Friday night because they were awake with us. This was Saturday on our way to leave for the fireworks show. These two just passed out on the pillow or on the blanket. So they were fast asleep. All right. So then here's dirt we had to move out. Tyler with his dump truck. He just got a new dump truck, you guys. He's been saving up for it for years and finally pulled the trigger, and we've already used it 13 times. We were counting. So we got to get some dirt out of the backyard. And let me see here what else. Okay, fireworks show. So fireworks were Saturday night. I didn't get any good pictures of that. Okay, so now fast forward, the driveway. This is the area that I was telling you is outside my bay window. That pile of dirt that Tyler was dumping was basically right here. And Sunday, this is what it looked like before we started. He had the pile, and this was all covered in black plastic for the last 3 years, literally, you guys. So we went to Hawaii on the incentive trip in 2021. This project was the year before. We came back from Hawaii in June, and there were 4 feet worth of weeds, the entire area. And my mom and I spent over 5 hours weeding this whole area and then all the way back that side. So we never wanted to do that again, and we didn't know what we were doing here. And so we covered it in black plastic, like black tarp. And so it's been full of black plastic for the last 3 years. And so now, you guys, I mentioned now, like somebody important's coming to the house. So we're like, let's get this buttoned up. And so this is the Sunday project, was clearing this. And then that's the back area, was all full of plastic too. Now that is full of dirt. My dad moved all the dirt back there. Tyler had to rent a little excavator. And so, yeah, to dig. Oh, there's a fireworks show. Perfect. And then pouring in the gravel here, right? So very good. Gravel comes in. And so basically now we rented a compactor. And this is where we're going to be pouring. This is how it looks now finished. This was last night. We are compacting it, and we have a little path to the garage or the little garden shed, and like pouring this. So blessed to have, here's the inside now. The drywall is all done in the ceiling for the electrician. The little closet's done, you guys. Oh my goodness. And that is for Tammy Sokolik's mom to cut more paper. Completely blessed by people in our lives that know what they're doing. Tyler, for one. I'm very lucky to have Tyler. The person who's helping us with concrete is a coworker of Tyler's. So he knows what he's doing, but like don't have to necessarily have the professional amount to pay. He's like helping us out. The electrician is a friend. Yeah, just you guys, the builder was a friend. You guys, it's just amazing to have people around you that know what they're doing, so that otherwise I don't even want to think about how much this would totally cost. So we're very lucky that way. But yes, lots of labor of love to have this all come together. So, but yeah, I'm just going to see, don't forget thumbs up. Hi, Sandy Coy Emery. That happened to you when you had a spray foam guy and saw it all. Yes, Gurr is right.
Hello?
Hi, who's here?
Me.
I don't know who me is. Oh, is Sandy?
Yeah.
Oh, come on over. We're live.
Oh no.
Oh no! Sandy's like, I don't want to be in. So Sandy is one of our #1 helpers, you guys. She helps with a lot of die cutting.
Here's
So
your paper.
Here's that. Did you see the green paper on the counter? You need you kept the die, right?
Right.
Okay. There's green paper on the counter by all the raffle baskets.
The big tree.
For the big tree.
Okay, these, I'm supposed to tell you, you put them in your plants.
Oh!
You just stick them in that far.
Okay.
And each side peels off and it gets the flies.
It gets the gnats. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
All right,
Give me a huggy for you, Leaf. Bye. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
everything. Okay.
You got to start giving me longer days.
Longer days.
Yeah. This hour or two ain't got it.
No, you need more.
No. All right, I'll see ya.
Bye, Sandy. Don't forget the green paper.
I won't. It's on the desk out there.
It's on the counter right where you walk into the house.
Okay, you got a box outside.
Okay, I'll bring it in. Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Oh, you guys, I have fruit flies galore. And so this is what Tammy said I need. She said you put these into your plants and they will attract and catch the little fruit flies. So perfect. Okay, you guys, we are kitting up 100 more of the Wounded Warrior card benefit. All right, which is amazing. I'm so glad we are. We have a lot. I think almost everything's prepped for the most part. We're like 99% there. We're gonna kit them up after the escape is done. We are currently, I believe, we're at 230 people signed up, which means we really would have only had 22 going into the event. So we are kitting up 100 more. So in case you missed on signing up for the Wounded Warrior card benefit, don't hesitate to let me know that you want a set of the cards. Most people are getting all 6 cards for the $40 donation, and sometimes you need to pay extra for the shipping. But just know out of the $40, everything is donated because we had all the materials donated by everybody in my amazing community that wanted to donate. So, all right, what else do I want to tell you guys? So the Autumn Creative Escape is coming up. We start that next week, Thursday, the 19th, and it's the 19th, 20th, 21, 22. So it's 4 one-day events or an online version where you get 2 creative presentations every day. And there'll be another presentation afterwards, 2 actually, where we're going to make the 9 make and takes. Great goodie bag. It's basically a small quasi product sampling of everything in all consumable stuff in the catalog. So that's next week. I have about 20 spots. I know Kelly put in the post yesterday 12. I think she meant to write 22 because we have about 20 left now because I had a couple people sign up in the last couple of days. So if you want to get on the escape, you can do that. It's primarily for demonstrators, discount shoppers, or hobbyists. But at this point, with having 20 left going into the week of the event, I am opening it up to avid customers that really want to get this event. So if you do not have a demo ID number with Stampin' Up! And would like to get on this event, please reach out to me. I can get you signed up. All those boxes will mail out after the event though. So, hi Karen Whitson. Hi Becky Gandolfo. Can you save a Wounded Warrior? And Becky, yes, I can. I will. And I owe you a phone call. I was going to call you yesterday morning and the time went away. It does. So call me later or I will try to call you later, Becky, okay? Yay. So I would like the 6 cards. Okay, Barbara Godby also, can you tell me how much to send for the shipping? Yes, $46. Barbara Godby, $46. And anybody else that wants just those cards. Now, if you want anything else in September, let's say you want ink, paper, scissors, you want the Let's Just Stamp, you want monthly class, or you want the sweet card class, please reach out to me first before sending $46 because we could add up everything and it could all ship in one package on Monday and you would have reduced shipping because I generally take off $4 for every class you add on. So meaning instead of it being $26 for the sweet class, it would be $22. And instead of $23 for Let's Just Stamp or the monthly class, it would be $19 as long as we have a base price set for shipping. I don't need to make any money or an arm and a leg off of shipping for the most part. So, all right. So Autumn Creative Escape is coming up next week. The Wounded Warrior card benefit that we're doing all of this crazy work for is October 5th. And if you guys want a kitten sighting, I just saw that Hunky Doodle is right there giving himself a bath. So I'm happy to see him relaxing and taking care of himself and not hiding under the bed. All right. So let me know anybody too would like to attend in person or want their kits made or having the cards made or having kits. The other thing is tonight I'll be the guest speaker at the American Legion in Mount Calvary. My dad wants me to go over there or asked if I would go over there to talk to everybody about what we have going on. And I'm going to take about 10 sets of the made cards that we have left here over there to see if I can't help get some donations for those cards. So lots of good stuff. All righty. I'm trying to think here. PDFs. So like the PDFs are on track. Jolene's been helping me with them. So the monthly class was emailed out. Let's Just Stamp. So we're good on PDFs, but just the catching up on emails. All right, are you guys ready? I've talked for about 45 minutes. I think we're good to go. Now you know what's going on in my life, though. Got a little bit of an update. I think that the card we have for you today is not a crazy card. Annette Rollin is the one who gave me this. I think she gave this to me about 2 months ago. It's been sitting here, and we built her into today. I do have 2 of these recipe cards ready from Sandy Coy Emery. And I have one from somebody else. I'm trying to remember. It's been a little while now since I got it. So we're going to do Sandy's and then we're going to do the other person's. And then if I have somebody else in there that sends me back one, we might fit them in before going back to Sandy's. But all in all, I know I have 3 more. So we're set now for October, November, and December. We're going to definitely have 3 more months of this class. I always tell you if I don't have a recipe by the time that we go live, then we won't do the class. But you guys have been keeping us going with recipe cards, which is awesome. If you need to know how to get a recipe card, all you have to do is go to my events calendar, It's at cardsbychrisb.com. I saved it as a button on my home screen that takes me right to my events calendar. If you go to today and you click on the class, the first thing, or the second one here, where it says click here to be taken to the form, that is what takes you into a Google form that has you sign up to get a recipe card from me. And so you just fill this out, and then I'll mail a card off to you, a recipe card. And that's what Annette didn't fill out her recipe card, but I think I'm going to have her do it when she has a moment. We'll have to figure out a way to maybe just cut this and fold it and put it on here. So we'll figure out a way. She just felt better typing it out, which is perfectly fine. And what it just didn't photograph it yet, because this is really, I didn't have it ready to photograph. But this is what she wrote for me for instructions and measurements, you guys. So we're going to work off of this today. And then we'll open up Annette's card at the end. She tried to explain it to me, and so I kind of have an idea what we're doing. And I'm going to set that over here for now, and I don't need the recipe card. And I'm going to pull out some Regal Floral paper. I don't even have the stamp set because I lent my stamp set to Christina Heiser, who's doing the display for me for the Autumn Creative Escape. So I pulled in some other stamps, and I pulled in some, I didn't know if I was going to go with Cherry Cobbler or Blackberry Bliss. And so I pulled both of the new ribbons in, and then also I pulled in the Regal Flora gems. So, hi, Jean Maxwell from Arizona. Oh, the other thing. I meant to tell you guys about the scavenger hunt, or this, like the Discover Bee Quest. Luann Bartling has been helping me with it. She put together a great little puzzle and another thing, like another 2 puzzles, basically. I need to connect with her to go over it with her, and then we need to get it into a format to share with you. So it's still in the works. It's not like anything that we let go. It's just, there's a lot going on, and you guys know that. So just know, and Jean, you made me think of that because you always ask me about the scavenger hunt. You just asked! Oh my gosh. You guys, I knew it! It says, is the scavenger hunt for the mini catalog available? I beat you to it, Jean. Oh man. So Jean, I saw your name pop up, and I instantly thought to myself, well, Jean asked me about the last scavenger hunt when it was available. And okay, so there, I knew it. So I don't have a day in mind, but just know that once we create the scavenger hunt, you guys will have a month to work on it. And so it won't be due in like 2 weeks or 1 week. Like I usually have it due the last day of the month the catalog launches. It'll be due sometime in like early October at this point. So I just need to steal away some time to work with Luann to get that prepared. And then I might work with Kelly to figure out, because it's actually a crossword puzzle is what she created, which was, I thought, a cool, different thing to do. All right, to kind of give it a different vibe or a different format. So, all right, perfect. Okay, so there you go, Jean. You'll help me remember with that update. So I pulled some Regal Flora paper. This card is a fun fold, actually. It's a fun fold. And what happens is, like the way I saw this and the way I talked to Annette about it, she kind of gave me some insider information. It has a front, and there's ribbon that goes across it this way and this way to make it look like a present. And so I was going to go along the lines of making it a birthday card. And you open it up, and it has a pop-up. And there's really a big piece of designer paper right on the front. And I saw this paper sitting on my desk, and I thought to myself, ooh, this is really pretty. This would be very pretty floral paper to put for a birthday card. So I had this piece in the Regal Flora paper, but there's also one more piece that's very similar, but yet they are different. Okay, and I gotta share this with you guys because this is the paper we use for Let's Just Stamp. Hang on, you guys gotta see these cards. Diane and I worked a little ahead last week because we knew that with the events and everything coming up, we weren't going to have a lot of time for designing in the near future. So these 2 patterns, I looked at them and I thought, oh man, I love these patterns. They're very patriotic. And we have the benefit coming up next month. Who doesn't love red, white, and blue, right? I mean, it's the September 11th today. We're remembering all that happened. I think it was 23 years because it was 2001, 23 years ago. So we take some time to remember. And, so when we did this, we were thinking red, white, and blue. And this is what we designed for Let's Just Stamp for October. So we have this red one for this card. So this is our patriotic class. We have the blue flowers using the blue DSP. And then we used both of them together on this one. And this is what we came up for this. This is Let's Just Stamp, but this one would be a pretty Christmas-ish card. This one is a pretty anytime card. And this one is a great anytime card as well, but tying in the blue and the red together. So this paper that we used for the Let's Just Stamp for October features the Regal Flora. Hi, Kevin Collins. Yay. All right, so we have here, that's what the backs look like, but the fronts of this Regal Flora look very similar. One has more underlying of the reds, and this one has a little bit more underlying with the Blackberry Bliss. And the size we need of the designer series paper, so it's coordinating pattern paper, she's got here 4 pieces. We need a 5 1/4 wide by 4 for the outside front of the card. And she's got here a piece for the inside, and then 2 of them that are cut 5 1/4 by 13/16 tall. Okay, so now my question is, from this piece, is it big enough to put on the outside of my card? And this is, get this is 5 1/16 by 4, which she's got 5 1/4 by 4. So it could work if we double mat it. I'm believing what Annette has on the outside of her card is not double matted. So if I want to go with Blackberry Bliss, because if I pull Blackberry Bliss, let me just pull it. Let me just pull a Blackberry Bliss. Where are you? Here you are. If I pull Blackberry Bliss and put this against it, it's very regal and rich looking. And then the Blackberry Bliss ribbon would go across it. Okay, so she's got ribbon to make it look like a birthday present. All right, so now if we opt to go with this one, I would definitely not choose Blackberry Bliss. I would choose Cherry Cobbler, right? So here's Cherry Cobbler with it. And then with this one though, you have a Cherry Cobbler ribbon, which would go this way and this way. Either one of them would work. And what I'm feeling, you guys, I love me my purple. So, Barbara said she would order the Let's Just Stamp for October. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So what happens then, Barbara, if you want to add that on, you can always figure that out later, but that would be $23 for the October class. So, all right. So now I'm trying to debate what I want to do, and I really am feeling the purple. So let me see if I have what else in here for sizes of that paper. I do. Look at that. I have one big enough because those guys are both smaller. So here's perfect. Let's use that. I would have these little pieces for the inside to match. All right. Excuse me. So you guys, I do have more frogs than normal because every time I walk into that craft room or the other room, from working with insulation for the last couple weeks and just dust and concrete dust, I got that more often. So you're going to hear me do that a little bit more. All right, so we have our designer paper. Now there is a coordinating cardstock too. All right, and that is for the inside. So these 2 pieces will work perfect. So we're going to have a lot of flower power going on here. Nancy said she'd go with purple as well. Good, I'm glad. Now, what will be a good complementary color behind this? Because this is on the inside, there's a cardstock mat, and then there's a designer paper. And I know that because Annette kind of prepped me. She tried to help me be a little less worried about this one and knowing what was going on. So I'm going to pull in some fresh freesia here. And I'm going to put fresh freesia behind here and see how that looks with it. There's also a pink in here. There's also a white. So what you could do if you're at home and you have different cardstock colors. You guys, this is where Gina taught me. She said, bring out different sheets of paper. You guys, many years ago, like in the year 2017, when I had no idea of like how colors work together. I learned all about the cools and the warms. What you do is you just bring out different and you look at them, visually look at them and see what you like. Okay, so there's the white option. And then we can put that, it's like being at the eye doctor. Do you like a 1 or 2 or A or B? So white isn't bad behind it, but I love how the freesia kind of ties in to the blackberry where the white kind of stands out. Now there's all blue in here, and I don't know how I feel about blue with the purple, but it potentially would be boho blue if I had to pick one. You could also potentially bring in balmy blue, but just so you guys can see, what about vanilla? Oh, the blue is kind of pretty too. I wasn't certain that was going to be nice. Okay, so Nancy talked about vanilla. I would stay away from vanilla only because my flowers are white. And to me, I know that everybody has their own thoughts of mixing white and vanilla, but I personally am not a mixer of the white and the vanillas. So I'll show you what it looks like, but in my head, yes, it looks great, but I feel like my white sticks out, and like more the vanilla or the white, like the white and the vanilla are like sore thumbs trying to be together. So it sticks out to me too much, but good idea. If the flowers were a little creamier, I would maybe opt to do vanilla, but with them being more white, I tend to not want to do that. But I think here for you guys, we'll poll the audience. I need you guys, and I don't think pink. There's a mauve in here, but Rococo Rose is gone. Moody Mauve is still available. Let's just see Moody Mauve here. Moody, the mauves that are moody. Okay, let's see here. I just don't know how that will look with, okay. All right, okay, you guys, here's your time to vote. I need somebody to keep track of this for me. Oh, I'll bring in Bubble Bath, okay? You guys, I need a moderator here, somebody that's watching that can tally things up for me and tell me at the end who the winner is by counting. So I'm gonna pull in Bubble Bath as well to see what that looks like. All right, so you guys, I'm gonna poll the audience. Somebody's gonna have to be my moderator and tell me what the winner is. So the first person to say, I'll be the moderator, you're it. You're gonna tell me who the winner is at the end, what color is the winner. So we have, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So you guys, this is Bubble Bath, all right? So I need you guys to tell me a color. What's the yellow? Okay, it could be crushed curry, but it also could be lemon lolly. But I'll pull in daffodil. Well, this is crushed curry. Okay, there's that. Once I find out who my moderator is, then we're gonna start the voting. Okay, so all the comments as of right now, we're not gonna worry about them until you guys can see me going through them, okay? Here's lemon lolly, and oh no, that's horrible. Horrible, horrible. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, I think we got lots of choices, okay? I'll bring in daffodil just so that we can see what it looks like. But after we get this color situated, we'll take voting while I start to work on another part of the project. Okay, there's that. We're into fall, so I'm wondering, I think the curry, unless you guys really liked the daffodil, but okay. Kevin Collins. I don't know who Kevin Collins is, but that's a good question, Barbara Cobby. I don't know if it's a spammer or if he's a real person, but whatever he wrote was YouTube Kevin Collins LVE, which I honestly have no idea what that means, and I can't interpret it. So Rosie Prouty is going to be my moderator, okay? So starting right now, Rosie's going to track, if she can, to the best of her ability, and tell me at the end, in like, let's say 10 minutes, Rosie, what color is the winner, okay? And hopefully I didn't give you guys so many choices that it ends up being an average. If at the end, Rosie, there's like a lot of answers for every color, I'll let you pick the color. But no yellow, okay. So, okay, and you know what, Rosie? We can have Annette help as well. So both of you guys can kind of keep track and hopefully figure out which one is the winner chicken dinner. Okay, so not yellow. Okay, I took yellow out of the mix. Oh, Gwen blocked him. Okay, good. You guys, I don't ever like, this Kevin Collins and other people, I have no idea sometimes if they're spammers or what they are, but I appreciate you guys taking the initiative to block, because we don't need them here if they're not meant to be here, right? So I don't mind that at all. I just don't like to be the one necessarily until I start seeing weird comments. Then I would, but I didn't know what that all meant. So, all right, Karen blocked him too. Perfect. Okay. All right. So are you guys ready to vote? I'm going to start going through the colors, and now's your time to start. So, and there might have been a couple people that are voting already, but we're going to flip this down. All right. Just so you can see, here's Bubble Bath. All right, there's Bubble Bath. And then we have Moody Mauve, looks like this. Okay, so Moody Mauve looks like that. Then we have the Boho Blue, would look something like that. All right, we had the white with it, which also brought out the whites of your eyes, or I should say the whites of the flowers. And then last we have here is Fresh Freesia. So you guys take your time to vote, and we'll come back to the inside of this card, and what we'll do is start working on the outside. So we have here a landscape card, So I'm not going to keep track of any of the colors, you guys. I have Annette and I have Rosie starting to track things, and they can come back to me and tell me what they come up with. So we need some white vanilla cardstock and a coordinating cardstock 1 and 2, which 2 we're waiting for later, and pattern paper. So let's go to cardstock 1 first. It says we need 3 pieces, and there are 2 pieces that are cut at 5.5 by 5 1/4. So 5.5 by 5 1/4. How many pieces can you get out of that? Well, if you cut a piece of paper in half, you get 5.5 and 5.5, and then we need it to be 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut 5 1/4 off on the 8.5 inch side, and then I'm going to cut this in half at 5.5. All right, so that gives us our 2 pieces. All right, you're wondering, oh man, what happened to my card base? We just cut it in half. They are also scored at 1 inch along the 5 1/4 side. Now, had I read that, I might have done it as 1 piece in my cutter, but I didn't read that till right now. So I need to get to the 5 1/4 inch side, which is this one. And what it says is it's scored at 1 inch along the side. So make sure you score. So we're going to pull it back to 1 inch like this, and we're going to score. All right, and that says it to do that for both of them. And so we'll go to 1 inch here on the 5 1/4 inch side. 1 inch right there, scoring blade. All right. Then we also need a 3 by 3, and it's going to be die cut or punch a circle of it that is about 2.5 inches. So on the edge of my paper here, you guys, look at this. We have 3 inches. So I'm going to cut this at 3 inches and set it off to the side, knowing that it says that we need to make a circle out of this. And I brought different circles. I brought deckled circles. I brought stylish shapes. I found Round We Go also has this scallopy circle. We have the Spotlight in Nature. So I brought different circles, and I'm going to set this on my circle pile for doing that in a moment. So those are the 3. We need a coordinating cardstock 2, which we'll come back to, and we need some white. So the white, we need a 5 1/16 by 3 13/16, which I don't see why I can't use that scrap. So let's go for this one. And so 5 1/16 by, whoa, measure twice, cut once, 3 13/16, not 2. So I almost cut that a little bit short. All right. White is used along, use then fresh freesia. No. White is also used then fresh freesia. Okay. So here's this piece, and we need also a 2 by 2.5 for the modern oval punch. Okay. So I have my modern oval punch. I did pull that. Now I'm sure if you don't have a modern oval punch, you'll be able to improvise with something later. Rosie said Bubble Bath 5, Fresh Freesia 4, Moody 3, Boho Blue 4, and White 3. That's what she got. Okay, very good, very good. So I'm going to punch these already so that they're punched. Now, Annette put on here that they could be 2 by 2, where are we? 2 by 2.5, but I'm just going to punch them instead of cutting it. Then I'm not going to waste anything. Like, that's my scrap. So, again, if you don't have the modern oval punch, what else might you have that is about this shape? All right, so we'll set that there. And then there is another one that says 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and it's for a circle that is about 2 1/4. So is this 2 1/4? Oh man, it sure is. So let's cut this, and we're gonna save this to be with my circle pile with this guy. And we'll come back to those circles when we start to work on that. And Annette has 11 Bubble Bath, 5 Boho Blue. Oh man, you guys really voted for the Bubble Bath. Okay, so between Rosie and Annette, I'm taking a gathering that Bubble Bath is it. Moody Mauve is 6, Freesia 5, and 1 white. So Bubble Bath, I think Bubble Bath, both Rosie and Annette both basically told me that Bubble Bath is probably the winner. I'll go with Bubble Bath. So as long as we have the Bubble Bath right here, let me see if I have a smaller piece. I always hate cutting into a new piece if I can avoid it, but I don't. So that Bubble Bath was 2 pieces that are 5 1/4 by 4. So a standard mat size to me. 5 1/4 by 4. Good timing on those. Rosie and Annette, good job on being my moderators. I appreciate that. It let me focus on cutting and not watching comments at the same time. You guys are amazing. All right, so 2 of these guys, we need our designer paper, which is a 5 1/4 by 4. So it is 5 1/4 wide by 4 tall. It's a landscape card. Now I'm gonna look at my flowers. I really want Blackberry Bliss to be prevalent on it. And this big chunky monkey here, I don't wanna lose that. So I'm gonna cut 4 inches here. You know, it's here too, but I feel like that one. So if I cut it here, this is what you can do. You can kind of game plan where you cut, what section you want. So see which way my flowers are going. See what section. So 4 inch, oh, if I go like that, I actually get purple up there and purple down here, and my ribbon's gonna go through the middle. I think this is the area that I want. So you guys can plan out, you know, because you might just blindly cut somewhere and then you might have cut off what you really want. So it's 5 1/4 wide by 4. So let's see where that puts us. Oh, right there. Okay. This I think will work really nice because we're gonna have ribbon that goes through the middle. So we'll get to see that. This gets matted onto, nope, this doesn't get matted. It goes right onto our card base. Perfect. Okay. Now on our inside, Annette's got another piece, a 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. So I have, let's see, these are the 2 I have. I'm gonna pick that one. And let's see, 5 1/16 is kind of what it is. So there's just a hair that can get cut off. By 3 13/16 this way. Perfect. That is going to mat onto our bubble bath. And there's one cut to, okay, hang on, let me read this. 5 1/4 by 4 for the outside front of the card. 5 1/16 by 3 13/16 inside card. And then cut to 5 1/4 wide by 13/16. Okay. It's a little strip. So 5 1/4 wide. And at this point, you guys, my flowers to me have no direction. But she's saying 13/16. So let's cut this at 13. Yeah, you guys, if 16ths are not your cup of tea, you could go up or you can go down and make it an 1/8. And I don't think that's going to affect things very much. But this is 5 1/4, which it is. Perfect. So 3 pieces of designer paper. 5 1/4 by 13/16, a 5 1/4 by 4, and a 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. Now, I believe that gives us all of our pieces. You guys wondering how this card goes together? All right, because inquiring minds want to know. Let's just read through. You know, with any good recipe, I learned this when I was in 2nd grade. You're supposed to read the recipe before you actually make the card. Or like cake, whatever it is. Stamp a sentiment on the 2 1/4 inch circle and adhere to the mat. So this is one thing we didn't do, was pick our circles. And we started right off with circles. So it's a circle inside of a circle. And what we can do is figure out what we want our, so it's a 2 1/4, and I believe the other was about a 2 1/2. Let me just look here. It was about a 2 1/2. So if I get my handy dandy little steel rule out here, that is only 2 1/8 for this one. And there's one over here that's 2, and this guy is 2 3/4. So the one that's, yeah, I'm gonna, maybe these could work. I'm gonna set them off to the side. We're gonna see what size this guy was. This one was 2 1/2. And then this one is 2. So these 2 could layer inside of each other. Let's just go and measure our stylish shapes. These are my tried and true favorites. There are a couple different circles in here. And I know that it's probably not going to make a difference if we're a hair bigger or less. But this one is pretty much 2 1/2. And then this one is 2 1/8. So I like this one for the bigger one, which we might do momentarily here. Let's just see if this guy would look good on the inside. We might do that one. So this is from Spotlight and Nature, is 2 1/4. So I think just to try these 2, we're gonna layer those 2 dies on top of each other, and we'll cut the white one from this pretty, look at that, just perfect. And we'll cut this one from that. Let's get these cut. And we'll end up probably most likely stamping a sentiment on them. You could probably zhuzh it up in different ways as well if you are so desiring that. But let's see if we can fit both these circles on here. Get them in one fall swoop. Like, oh, he moved on me. You guys got to be so careful. I could use tape, but I'm like, no, let's just go for it. Oh, ha ha! Jean Maxwell said, what about, oh man, my circle moved, you guys. So the white one did fine, and now look what happened. I'm going to throw it on the floor too. This one, Jean Maxwell, I completely forgot about the deckled ones. Okay, so this is what happened. This guy moved on me. Look at, aren't you sad when that happens? I don't know if there's a way to salvage it, or do I just cut? I'll just cut a new piece. It's okay. It's okay. Wow, all my scissors are gone. So I'm gonna cut a new piece. It's okay. You guys, naughty Nancy, what would she say? It's only paper. All right, I should have just gone for one at a time and settled for that. Okay, so Jean Maxwell, back to your deckled circles. I haven't forgotten about you. We'll go look at them really quick, but I don't generally use the deckled circles a lot. I don't know what it is about the deckled circles that, they don't get me going so much. I don't know. But if you guys do have deckled circles, that could work. See, like that one's perfect for that size, and this one could get matted inside. So definitely, deckled circles could work. They would fit perfectly. So if you have deckled circles, that'll be perfect for this card too. I think I've maybe used them once or twice in the designing for cards. I really like the decal rectangles. It's the circles that really I don't use much. Now, for this piece, you guys, I don't have any scissors. I gotta go get some scissors. Hang on. There are no, anyways, look at that. There are no scissors. They're gone. Okay, hang on. Okay. Back on track. Gotta have all three of my scissors here. Paper, ribbon, and glue. Now my ribbon is the best one because it's used for ribbon. My ribbon paper now became scissors, and my paper scissors is now glue. I just haven't graduated them appropriately. So I would take this and cut it off and put that back in my scrap drawer because it's perfectly fine. All right, my dies are well loved, so they don't pop out. Oh, they pop out, but not as easy. But here we go. We have a little layering going on with our circles. So lots of options for circles for this card and other cards that you would like circles on. Again, the sizes that Annette has here are 2.5. And now circles, squares. You could also, if you don't have any circle dies, you could also make this into a square and then put it into the shape of a diamond if you want. Okay, let's go back to instructions now. Stamp a sentiment on the 2¼ inch circle and adhere it to this mat. Okay, what do we have for sentiments? I found Poised Peony, and there is a sentiment in here that says best birthday wishes. So to me, I'm like, that's perfect. I like best birthday wishes because this is gonna be a very pretty card for a lovely lady. So we have the Blackberry Bliss ink. These are red rubber, so you're gonna have to make your best estimate of where it needs to get stamped. Stamp a focal image no larger than 1 3/4 tall by 1 inch wide onto your white vanilla 2 by 2.5 pieces, and then punch out using the modern oval punch. Punch out as close to the top as possible, leaving about 1/2 inch on the bottom clear. Glue them together to form one oval with an image on each side. Okay, so that's the next step. I was reading that. Ooh, that's very pretty. Okay. Now, a focal image on our modern, if I had the Regal Flirt, so you guys, I mentioned that Christina Heiser is borrowing my set because she's doing a display. So one of the perks of attending the Autumn Creative Escape is that I have 7 amazing, lovely ladies that are doing displays. They're coming up with lots of ideas and inspiration to help give you guys more ideas for when you want to share the catalog with your friends and family to help give inspiration. So they're going to have displays, and Kelly Lamb is going to come in and photograph all of them, and she has albums for each one. So you would have access to go back and look at that anytime you want. Even years after the event. I go back to certain events that I remember that we had certain cards that were made or sets that were used. I go back into them and I can use them for more ideas. I'm just poking out all these, there's little, they're the littlest babies of messy die cutting. Sometimes going like that works too. Okay, that didn't work so well, but all right. We're just poking out these little holes on the side. Yeah, the Spotlight and Nature dies are amazing. They have a nice decorative edge on them. All right, keep this going. Now, so what I'm doing is figuring out what am I gonna do on my inside. So it's saying stamp a focal image on your inside, but don't do it too low because I'm having a feeling that this is going to be a pop-up in the inside. So let me get my garbage on here and into here. All right, so long story short, I don't have the Regal Flora stamps. You guys, they're not here. So what am I gonna use? There's actually a really pretty flower here. My peony. I wonder, it would actually, because it kind of looks like it could be in there, and it fits on here. So I think I'm gonna stamp that on here, and I might as well use Blackberry Bliss. And I'm having a feeling, I'm wondering how I'm gonna do, okay, I'm thinking out loud, you guys. This is what I'm doing. I'm talking to myself out loud, and you're just happening to hear everything. Oh, that's how it goes. All right. I need to stamp that a little bit better. It needs just a little bit more ink, I think, in a certain spot. So let's try again. And what I was thinking in my head is I'm envisioning this card. It opens, and then opens, and then there's a flap in the middle where this gets glued, and it's either going to be this way or it's going to be this way. And so I was thinking if this, I read in the instruction they glue together to form one. To be very careful how I glue them together because I don't want my flower upside down. So we're gonna hold tight on stamping the other side at the moment. Just hang tight on this. I'm gonna shut the ink up. We're gonna come back to this. Adhere ribbon to the coordinating pattern paper that is 5 1/4 by 4 across the middle horizontally and vertically. And she's got a nice little picture here that says this way and this way. All right. And so we're gonna grab our tear and tape and make a sandwich. We're gonna have a bunch of sandwiches. We're actually gonna have 8 sandwiches. So we really do need 8 waiting in the wings, and we need 8 on the card itself. So we got our 8 waiting in the wings. That's a lot of wings here. All right, covering up our pretty blue flowers. And, oh, I just did this. Ha ha, you guys, I don't need that many. I don't think I do. I needed 4 and 4. I need 8 total. So we'll let that hang out there for a moment. It's all right. Can't count right now. Math is hard. All right, so we're going to need a ribbon going across it this way. And then we need a ribbon this way. So I would estimate 5 inches and 6 inches. So 6 inches that way, 5 inches the other way. And this blackberry has a really pretty gold edging on it. And I'm eyeballing it. You guys can get a ruler out if you want to. And one goes this way. And one goes, so it makes it look like you've just wrapped your birthday present. Like this. And like that. Way too many tear and tapes. Glad I figured that out before I ripped off 4 more yet. All right. So it says, adhere the ribbon to this pattern paper across the middle horizontally and vertically. We got that. Adhere to the card front of the coordinating cardstock 1 piece. And there's another die. So we've got the diagram. So this will go on the front like this. Now you have a score line here. So this is going to need to fold down like that. And we're gonna take our bone folder and we're gonna burnish it. Now you had another piece here that was the same setup. It's got a score line here. So we're gonna fold it on the score line. And she's got this diagram here. So there's an inside and the front and the inside and the back, and the inside panel, like she's kind of drawn out what we got to do. And it's like this is basically what happens is these are going to get glued together on this fold. And so our card is going to look like this. It's going to open like this. And then these are going to create the pop-up, which is where our modern label punch will go in here. So this flower is going to pop up in here. And so that's where I was hesitant on stamping my flower, because I'm like, oh man, I don't want it to be upside down, right? So what happens is this becomes the front of the card. And what we can do to prep this is get the tear and tape backing off. And then use a little bit of liquid glue everywhere else. And look at your pattern, which direction it needs to go, and that will go onto the front like that. Okay, so that's the front of our card. Now these circles are going to come in handy. They're going to go right here. Okay. All right. So then when you open this up, adhere the coordinating cardstock mat to the inside of the back piece. Do not adhere the white vanilla with the sentiment until the end. And then adhering the coordinating pattern paper to the inside panels of the one. So she's got this little diagram. And so I read that. And so here's our inside now. And what happens is you're going to have your bubble bath mat, or I should say my bubble bath mat here. And there's one here. And then that's here. Our white is going to go here. And then we have a strip of designer paper that will go across the bottom here. So this is kind of what it's going to look like. Center the oval punch and glue to the panel piece to form the card base. So gluing this together. And then this guy goes in the middle like this, right? And she said to wait to glue this white piece in until you know about stamping, because its next step is stamp the sentiment on the white vanilla and attach the inside mat on the back piece, which is this. And then the last step basically is use dimensionals to attach the circle with the sentiment to the front of the card. So we generally have an idea here of what's happening. So I think to get some pieces put down, let's flip these over. And we'll add some liquid glue to these two. And so now you guys can kind of see what we've got going on. So that. And check out the orientation like that. All right. And then figuring out this flower. Let's go back to this flower. So if this is what's going to happen, this flower, when this is open like this, you want it to be facing basically this way. Okay, that's why I was hesitant about stamping that. And a lot of that is going to get covered up. Not a lot, but a little portion of this is going to get covered up. So what we're going to do here is stamp it so that my leaf is on. And then the part that gets glued is about that top 3/8 inch. Oh man, I have to go over to the right just a little bit. Now look at me. I was assuming I did it good enough that I put the ink away. All right, so let's move it over hair like that. Okay. Hi, Susan Bellamy. Just joining now. We'll have to watch the replay. Oh, Susan, you're going to hear quite the update on what's going on with the project. I'll tell you that. All right, so let's get this guy. Now, I do have a Stella pen here. And what I wanted to do with the Stella pen is drag over, when you use a Stella pen and you drag over ink, it makes the ink bleed. And it's a cool coloring technique. And I'm only going to do that pretty much on the flower part. Now this one, you don't do it right away, sometimes the ink dries and you don't get as much ink blending. But you saw that one, I did it right away. And this one I didn't do it right away. So it's not blending quite as much. But it's still a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. It just brings out a little bit of purple. If you wanted to, you could also color the green. I might go back and color the green leaves later. But what happens is these need to get glued together. Oh, no, like this. Hang on, I think I did this wrong. This one goes here, and then this one, oh no, so they gotta get glued opposite. No, they're opposite. So this flower's facing this way, and when you flip it this way, it goes that way. All right, so gotta make sure I glue these together correctly. So if you don't have the modern oval punch, it could definitely be something else as well. That goes right in the middle here. Right, so then this flips that way. All right. Sentiment for the inside too. We gotta remember to get that done. All right. What you could do, liquid glue has a little forgiveness with the drying time. So I'm gonna take and put liquid glue all the way around here. I'm gonna get these lined up like that. And then I'm gonna stick this guy. It's still wet. So I can put this in here. I gotta get both of them in there. Like this. I'm eyeballing it. Just center it the best you can. Put something like that. Okay, so that, and we've got our flower there. Right, so we've got our outside. You open it up, you got one flower, and then you've got another flower. Now you could use different stamps, different images, however you want to. So best birthday wishes, and then on the inside here, when this is laying flat, you might just stamp on both sides, but I think I'm just gonna put my happy birthday right through the middle. I'm okay with that. I do have here round we go, and it has a happy birthday. That's in the cursive of fonts. And let's see here, if I could washy my block, and we'll use the same ink. And I think I'll pull that out and just, I'm gonna go for it like right about here. I don't want it to be underneath this area where they got glued together, but I think we'll go right about here in the middle. Cool beans and bagels. You could have stamped it just turn upside down to show the right directions. So are you talking about that flower? Because I feel like I had to stamp it the right way to begin with, because it was needing to be, this white part needed to not be there. So that's why I had in my head I needed to open it up beforehand. So you guys, this is a recipe binder insert for the Technique Club class that I do with Rose. I always have to print an even number, and I only need odd amounts. So, all right, so that's here. And then that'll go here. And then I believe this little guy goes right along the bottom here. It would be my guess. I'm thinking, I don't remember reading where it got glued here. Stamp a sentiment, center the oval. I think I'm gonna just put it down there and call it good. And put that right along the bottom. I was wanting, now if I had the Regal Flora stamp set, I would have stamped some flowers and potentially stamped flowers, die cut the leaves, and not stamped anything on the oval, and I would have attached a little floral arrangement on both sides of this, is kind of what I had in my head, but I realized I did not have the Regal Flora stamp set at about noon. I'm like, I'm not gonna call somebody to ask them for it. So we'll use the prize peony. So this goes here, like that. All right, so a beautiful inside, right, like that. Again, you could use that up. You could also, if you wanted, add more designer paper here, and maybe that's, did I do that wrong? That's maybe what, haha. I just reread this. Cut 2, 5 1/4 by 13/16. And I bet you any money that those would have gone here and here. Okay, so instructions do say cut 2, 5 1/4 by 13/16. Now, you guys, these are always your cards when you make them at home. And you can decide. I almost like having the border here and leaving my blackberry as is here. Depending on what your pattern paper is, it might look super cool to have a continuous flow, but you might like it just blackberry. So your call on the designer paper. Just know, and that here I do see she says 2, 5 1/4 by 13/16, and that would be for in here and here. Now, again, like I said, your call on how you want to do it. The outside here, then, she had written that these two need to get glued together, and they go in the middle here. You could pop up, you could go flat, whatever you want. Annette, yeah, I figured it out, girlfriend. Oops. But, you know, they're not mistakes, you guys. What are they called? Happy little accidents is what our friend Bob Ross would say. Happy little accidents. All right, so let's all go to A&W. Let's grab some dimensionals. I'm going to put the dimensionals in my 4 corners here. That should work. Yep, perfect. I was not wanting to put the dimensionals where the ribbon is, so by putting it right on here, I know exactly where to put it. And this will go right about here. Whoop, and then I dropped it at an angle. Like that. Perfect. Then we have the most amazing little royal gems. I think they're royal. Regal foil gems. They're not royal, they're regal. And what we have in here are a greenish color. It kind of reminds me of like jade, shaded spruce. Not as dark as shaded spruce, more jade. Oh, there's a lot of hard words. Jade, like a melon mambo, a misty moonlight, and a blackberry, but all lighter versions of them, and they all have gold flecking in them. So the regal ones are gonna get lost in there, and the green doesn't really get me going. I wonder if we put some pink ones in here and see what pink does. I was in my head thinking the Druzy gems might be cool too. The Druzy gems are there. Hang on, let me go get them. One moment, please. They have these new gems called the Druzy gems. Or Drosy. I'm guessing Druzy though. They are very sparkly. If you guys remember in the past we had some, they were called, we called them jemmies. They were a little bit bigger than these. And I was thinking that these goldish ones actually might look very nice too. And they might stand out a little bit more. So one moment, let's take those off and grab one of these and a small one. And then let's grab another small one and we'll put it over there. Oh, I put it right in the middle of the flower. Yay. Oh, let's do that. Okay. I don't know if that'll look good. Nope, I want it more at an angle, so we'll go like that. Okay, so the Druzy gems, they show off a little bit more, and then they pull out the yellows from the flowers that are the yellow flowers. White. Do you have gold? Yes, opportunities. The white ones, so if you want to see what the white looks like, the white, they would stand out even more. Either one would work. I do like the softness of the goldy ones though, I think. So I get to make a choice today, and I'm going to choose the gold Druzy gems. All right, now, I didn't think I was going to go with the Druzy, but I'm glad that I got to show you guys what they look like. Perfect. And then here we go, a white one. Let's go back on here. And then we'll put these little guys. So what's odd to me is it was pink. Like I get the blackberry, I get the blue, the green, and then there's a pink. I really wanted the pink to be a different color. I don't know which color, but more of a regally color, I think. All right, we didn't Stella anything on the outside. So what you could Stella, any designer series paper that you have, you could Stella your flowers and give them a little bedazzly. Thanks, Karen. It's purplicious just for you, my purplicious friend. There we go. Now, the other thing you can do are the edges of your die cut, the frame here. Perfect. Okay, we did it. Boom. And I don't think we got, well, you guys, I don't even think we started until 2:45. No, 1:45. It's not even 2:45 yet. We didn't start till 1:45. So what a nice, easy, fast card to put together. Good job, Annette Rollin. Thank you for your inspiration with your instructions for this one. You open it up. It really gets to showcase off designer series paper. Very cool. And you could even have added more on these flaps if you wanted. Awesome sauce. I love it. I love showcasing designer series paper. This, you guys, would be a great ink, paper, scissors card. Wouldn't you agree? I like it. Hi, Mary Schreiber. Oh, you guys like it. Very pretty card. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a moment to take in the beautiful card. I think I got to put this on it, though. I'm going to wrap my ribbons up here, put my scissors away, and then you guys, we're going to take a moment and we're going to look at Annette's card. Are you curious to see what she made for her sample? I certainly am. Beautiful card. Good, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Now, did you guys find inspiration in this card? Can you see yourselves making this card at home using your own supplies? Are you going to show Annette's card? Yes, I certainly am. Oh, yes, you know it. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to maximize my time here while you guys are taking in the beautiful card that she made. I am cleaning some stamps here so that when I'm done, I can put my things away and go water the gravel again, you guys. Watering gravel is a very mind-numbing thing to do. So, but it needs to be done so that it makes the concrete as good of a foundation as possible. Eileen Schneider, yay. Thumbs up, good job. Okay, you guys, I'm just putting this one last stamp away, making my way to get to Annette's card. All right, so you guys will know that I'm going to take a picture of this. I'll take a picture, and what I might do is cut this, and then I'm going to cut this down and put it onto her recipe card and glue it and take a picture of it. That's my plan. All right, so are you guys ready? Drum roll, drum roll. Glenn says, beautiful card, wow. Oh, you betcha. All right, you guys got to get my little bee, Oh, man, we had that little washi tape came undone here. So hang on. Let's put that back and officially do the opening here so that we have it. Okay, ready for it? Ooh, and ah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Annette, is this the new online exclusives paper? The one that comes with iconic celebrations, maybe? She used the Spotlight in Nature. And let's see what she's got on the inside. Oh, it is the iconic paper. Very nice. That has some candles in there because a happy birthday is an iconic celebration. Oh, she did. Look at this, you guys. She did the designer paper here and here. Perfect. I love it. Okay, so if I would have caught in the instruction when I was reading this, if I would have caught in the instruction cutting two of them, I definitely would have put it together that they were for the panel. And she has here a different pattern paper. So this pattern, and then this is a different pattern. And then the outside is yet a different pattern, and they all match. They're like Moody Mauve and the Misty Moonlight mixed in with a green. And look at this. She has a little cake and candle here. There's a set called Hooray for Surprises, and that's where this is coming from. Make a Wish. I think that's where that comes from. Hope your birthday is wonderful. And that's, I think, Annette, if you're still watching, I'm pretty sure. So here's what's going on. So Rosie just pointed this out, that the candle is upside down. Now, it just depends, I guess, because if you look at the card this way, it's not upside down, right? But then the candles are upside down. So yeah, there you go. So that's what I was wondering. So it just depends on how you hold the card. So just keep that in mind whenever you're doing your middle part here, that you figure out how you want it to be. Not to say one's wrong or one's not right, or one's wrong or one's right. It just depends on what you want it to be. So keep that in mind. I should have stamped the cake upside down on the one side. Okay, so Annette was just saying. See, and that's what I was thinking when I put mine in. I'm like, I feel like that needs to be this way. But I'll be honest, when the card is laying flat like this, right? So let's say you leave it open flat. Whoever comes and sees it from both sides when it's laying flat, it's actually right having it like that. So, okay, there's just happy little accidents and things that we can always figure out as we go. No, and this one's, it's all perfect. And I do like the difference here where I put the designer paper down here and then Annette has hers on this little band in the inside. But cool concept for a card, you guys. And it's actually pretty simple. It's however you want to do your mats, but primarily you have 2 card pieces for the base that are 5.5 by 5 1/4. And what you do is you score them at 1 inch from in each side on the 5 1/4 inch side. So it's not an overly complicated card, but yet it's a fun fold and people love different varying things inside cards. So, oh, all right. Yes. Barbara Gobby. So Barbie, yes, you guys, Barbara Gobby went on like the trip from heck, you guys. She went to Alaska and ended up getting sick on her trip and just everything was delayed and she couldn't do any of her excursion. It kind of feels like my Mexico trip deja vu, where like maybe you couldn't do anything and you had to cancel things and it's just not a fun, enjoyable trip. Like that's the kind of trip you wish you were at home in your bed the entire time for. So yes, Barbara, you need to rest up and get better for us. So, all right. Okay. So what's coming on the docket, you guys? I got like the flags going away. So, and you know, Connie Moore too. I don't know if you stayed with us the whole time, but you guys, Connie Moore, send out some love and hugs to Connie. She could totally use your love and support right now. Connie's husband passed away this past week and it has been a trying week for her. And so that's why she said in the beginning of the video that she's happy to be here and it'll be a nice distraction away from what she's been going through these last couple days, last week. So it's not easy to lose a loved one, let alone your significant other and your spouse, you guys. So a big shout out to her for love and prayers and sending our well wishes your way, Connie. I'm not sure if you're still watching or not, but we want to send you our love. So our community is behind you. So let us know if you need anything. And a little update. So today's Wednesday. Tonight's my American Legion meeting. So I have no class tonight. Yay, which is good for me. I can go to the meeting. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to go. Tomorrow night we have the September monthly class and that will be at 6 p.m. Central. We're going to be making the September cards, which are a Halloween card, a fall card with the changing leaves, and the other one. I'm drawing a complete blank. What is the card, you guys? Oh man, like somebody's gonna know this before me because I just know it. So let me just see here. I literally just, all I have to do is look at the cover photo. Oh yes, the Frosted Forest, the tree card. The gals liked that one. All 3 of these cards, they made these on Monday, you guys. We had class at 1 and 6 and all the girls, they loved all of the cards. They were very versatile cards. So that's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll also do, my plan is to do the drawings for all of the August stuff. So the class card challenge, the monthly card challenge, we'll do the top fans. I think there's also mystery card, share, create, inspire. We'll do all those drawings of all the winners. So that'll be tomorrow night. So yeah, thank you guys for sending Connie some love. She's definitely, she definitely, anybody could use that, right? All of us, we need as much support as we can. So that's tomorrow night. And then I don't think, oh, I have kit class on Friday morning with you guys. We have 2 kits here that we're going to work on putting together. And just a recap too, the haunted house kit, I put that video on standby until into November sometime once the kit becomes available again. So we got kit class Friday morning at 10 and we're pouring concrete at 1. So that's how we roll. And then nothing really for classes or online Saturday, Sunday. And then just watch for the Let's Just Stamp class. We'll get probably moved to Monday evening at 6 instead of being at 1 so that we can accommodate a big shipping day on Monday. Tuesday, for those of you who are doing the Autumn Creative Escape with me, I have a Zoom meet and greet. One of the requests from a friend of mine, Kathy King, way back in the beginning, she said it would be awesome and amazing thing to connect with others that are doing the event. And so we do a Zoom meet and greet, not required by any means, but if it works for you to pop on, I will be sending those Zoom details out, or I maybe already did. They're in an email somewhere that I sent a couple weeks ago. I'll send it again though, because we have a Zoom meet and greet for those doing the escape to get to know others. And then the event starts on Thursday. Yay, that's how we go. So, all right, you guys, thanks for sending. Oh, Connie Moore is still watching. So Connie, I hope you saw all the love that we're sending your way. 52 years she was blessed with marriage. So you're making me cry, you guys. So I know that we're sending lots of love, Connie. I know it doesn't make him come back, but just know that he's still with you. I still believe that he's never leaves your side. He's just always with you, you know, because he's got a big role that he played with you, and he's in your heart and your mind forever. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to sign off. Otherwise, I'm going to keep crying. So lots of love, sunshine, and big hugs to everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night for the September monthly class. Lots of love to you guys. All right, we'll catch you later. Bye.